Steve Engineer, New Jersey Snake Man, and his scaly friends. These are two of mine. This one is trying to get away from me. So these are a New Jersey native northern pine snake, my personal favorite, as some of you may know. And this is a jungle carpet python, which interestingly enough is or was the favorite of my personal hero, Steve Irwin. May he rest in peace, but this was his favorite snake. This is an Australian native, and I chose these two snakes today because it is a balmy 22 degrees outside, and people will often ask me, so what happens for snakes when when it gets cold? Many people know that snakes are cold-blooded. We're going to use another term for that, which is ectothermic. Which means that they don't produce any of their own body heat. So unlike us, mammals, other birds also are endotherms or endothermic, and we do produce our own body heat. In fact, a lot of our energy, we have to eat a lot more often than reptiles and amphibians because we're producing body heat. Snakes can go a week, or some of them can go 2 years without eating because they're not producing any of their own body heat. They're very, very energy efficient. So again, back to the question that people ask me is what happens in the winter, right? It's 22 degrees outside. We have snakes in New Jersey, like our friend the pine snake here. And what do? So many snakes, unlike this tropical snake who is finding a place to perch over here, who will never experience a winter, snakes, as they get cooler, their metabolism slows down. So what these snakes will do is they'll find a place underground where the temperature is more stable, and they will brumate. It's a little different than hibernation. They're actually still kind of awake. It's not like a long slumber, but they will stop eating. They might do a little bit of drinking, but they spend most of their time in a sort of dormant state called brumation. And that is what these temperate zone snakes that experience a winter will do during that time. Again, tropical snakes like this, they don't do that, which is why actually people ask oftentimes about the Burmese pythons in Florida, which is why when you look into real actual studies on their populations, most of them died off every few years whenever it gets down in the 40s in Florida, which it does in South Florida. Not every year, but every few years. 19 out of 20 of the big Burmese pythons that people talk about are dying off, because it does get cold down there and they don't have the ability to hibernate. So at any rate, one neat fact about a New Jersey snake for you is the timber rattlesnake will actually go down and will sometimes hibernate in groundwater because groundwater will never freeze. So it will actually go in and somehow nature it's learned and passed that on through its genetics to its offspring, and oftentimes the timber rattlesnake will go down into the mountain find some shallow groundwater to sit in, and they have been found hibernating in groundwater. One of the most cold tolerant snakes that you'll see is the garter snake. That's another snake that we have. I'm pointing because ours is over there. That we have here in New Jersey. They go all the way up into Canada, and it is not uncommon to find one of those in March when there's still snow on the ground. If it's a warm day in March, gets up in like the 40s, 50s, 60s, it is not uncommon to see them come out and start looking for breeding opportunities, start feeding a little bit, even if it's still quite cool to us and seemingly not great snake weather. So hopefully that helps you guys or shares some information. We've enjoyed sharing with you guys. We'll do more of these where we answer some of your questions, and maybe we'll open that up. But again, smash the like button, subscribe, follow us on Instagram. We'd love to hear from you guys if you have anything. If you have any questions, we'd love to hear them. Please feel free to reach out to us.